And the methodology was ass. No, I'm not one of those who hashtag always knew. I mean, I've always, and part of it is because I didn't know that trans people properly were a thing. Looking back, I had a bunch of things like I would play with girl toys back in school, and I had a strong concept of gender when I was a kid, and I knew that I was doing it wrong, if that makes sense. So I very early on tried to suppress it because I didn't know that transition was a thing and that is something like that I could do. I'm just gonna accept the damage here, it's not that bad. So I guess you could say I always knew I was weird, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that I was always a weird kid anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, this is just another weird thing about me. In high school, I was very close to figuring it out. Like, I was at the point where some of my friends were using she, her for me in high school. My mental health has gone severely uphill. I only me streaming has been me. This is a completely different beam. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted all left and right. When I started streaming like 2.5 years ago, I started out as femboy because I had like, you know what? I have a lot of femininity in me that I cannot express in real life. I felt like I couldn't express. So you know what? I kind of wanted to stream. There's so many reasons for why I ended up streaming for creative outlets. And then I started out as femboy. Not that my model was any advanced. I just threw that shit together. And then, like after less than 2 months, I was like, you know what? Fuck, I might actually be trans. Once I started expressing myself, it went kind of quickly, a little too quickly, so I felt uncomfortable. I needed to halt myself. I don't take steps before I'm kind of sure. And then I started coming out to my friends and started experimenting, and then the whole ball started. And my mental health has gone very uphill since then. I've been depressed for most of my adult life because right after high school, for a few reasons, I started completely suppressing. I did not want to explore that at all. I was like, no, I do not want to deal with this. I don't want this. I wanted to reject this. So even as I learned more and more about what trans people were, outside of porn, which was a part of the issue. Like, I only knew about trans people through porn. And, well, I didn't want that. So, I am so happy these days. I mean, dysphoria still being a thing, some days are still hard, but, I am. Fuck! I'm such a happy person. And being happy more continuously is so good. I'm just me, you know? I'm just me. And I managed to dodge a bunch of the hate online, which is also poggers. I straight up posit like me starting to stream just to have a creative outlet to experiment with myself to express myself in different ways to just to open those doors safely for me has been one of the best decisions I have ever made in my entire life. I don't care if I will like never grow. I mean, I care to some extent, but even if I never grow beyond having like sub 10 views regularly, I think this is still like the best decision I've ever made. Period. It has led to so much good stuff in my life. I've met so many cool people. I have made a lot of cool friends. It has made it. made me express myself, so I ended up transitioning. Yeah, it was just very good. A lot of good stuff. Which is also why I'm very open about talking about a lot of this on stream, because in a lot of ways, my streaming history, especially in that first year, was me exploring more and like changing how I express myself more and more. Like even putting makeup on my model for the first time felt like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? I because it's an extension for me. Right now I'm a part of Gundam. I have a Gundam halo. I have dropped out of uni 3 times now. Like okay, so the two first time, like my time ran out. The first time I properly dropped out, I was. Is this STL Testament? This is the an important one. Singular ambush and singular cunning in the mining station. That is an important one that we were looking for. No, I want map. This is the central mining station. So we do want to go back here in the Dark World. Cool, 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 cool. The first time was because time had run out. I had wasted like 4 years not being super productive with my studies. And I had to drop out. I was super fucking depressed. Moved back to Oslo, moved in with my parents for a few weeks before moving in with some friends. Hated moving in with my parents. That is like a removal of autonomy. And then I was called in to the military. So I did that. Did I maybe not tell them how depressed I was? Yeah. Was I physically not in shape for to be in the military? Yeah. But yeah, no, I kind of brute forced my way through a year in the military, and that was pretty fun. I got a little bit more in shape. I got some discipline in my body. I don't recommend the military as a coping thing. Yeah, see here, we have invisible barriers here. But I kind of tackled that tough love very well. I did miss having a space of my own, having some privacy, because when you're in the military, you do not have... you don't have privacy. So after 15 months in there, I was very ready to move out again to my way too tiny room. But yeah, no, the tough love of the military did me good. It at least knocked me out of the funk. The site, we did that one.